What's up, squad? Back with another video. I said the title's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Ilhan Omar. Feels like everyone is now working together to get more of these, I definitely could say, corrupt individuals in office. Definitely working together. Definitely doing horrible things, saying horrible things, doing horrible things. We're going to talk about more. You have Abdul Aziz, I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, if I say it wrong, endorses Ilhan Omar. Says she's a trailblazer. We talk about courage. I'm going to just play it, and I kind of didn't want to play the video because it's loud music over it, but I'll read over it again. But just check it out.
Courage. We'll talk about the ability to show up when nobody else has the words, find the words, and be willing to say them clearly in the face of power. That's this woman.
So, literally just said, when you talk about the ability to show up when nobody else has the words, find the words, and be willing to say them clearly in the face of power. That's this woman. So, I guess that is more the reason on why, I guess he's endorsing Ilhan Omar. They're all, I guess, endorsing each other and working together as much as possible. I definitely don't see how so many people aren't seeing exactly what they're doing. But I find it pretty much insane. I definitely apologize, too. If y'all see that my headphone is, I'm pretty sure it's this side. It's this side or that side. I think it's this side. It's broke on me today. I usually have a few headphones laying around, but unfortunately, being a nice individual, I sit there and give them away. Literally give them away. But it's okay. I just don't want y'all to talk about me or nothing. So I apologize. You have right here Ilhan Omar, who says some people did something when it, pertaining on 9/11. You have a lot of nasty talking individuals that, I'd say throw a name out there, Hassan Piker. You're having all these individuals that are truly in support. If you have people like this that are speaking in terms of, the American people and speaking bad and ill on the American people, y'all should probably, it should tell y'all something. It definitely should tell y'all something. Check it out.
One powerful voice that has been a big topic of conversation is the left-wing streamer Hassan Piker. He's someone that you've campaigned alongside with. He put out a video backing your re-election today. There are moderate Democrats who have criticized Abdul Aziz for appearing on the campaign trail with him. What's your view of that criticism?
I mean, people, in a free country, people can have opinions about people who campaign with candidates. I certainly had my own criticisms of folks who campaigned, folks that were on the top of the ticket for us in 2024.
Bro, but y'all gotta think. The thing is, this I'm gonna put it more in perspective so like everybody know like where I'm at with this. It's a difference of you being an actual American and being for the American people and speaking on the American people. Let's just put that right there. You speaking on the American people, regardless of what it is. You speaking on the American people. You love the American people. You doing something for the American people. American doing that. Then you have Ilhan Omar and all of her individuals, that, and we're going to talk more about Somalians, about the Muslims, about individuals who truly don't care about Americans. And that's the problem that I have. That's truly the problem that I have. You got these individuals that truly don't care, and then on top of that, you have multiple of individuals on the left that are trying to make them stronger and trying to put them in office. And it may not make sense right now, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's gonna make a lot of sense as I'll show y'all exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to too many of these individuals being in power, getting these jobs, getting put in. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I love seeing, it's America. I truly love to see different things going around. But one thing about it is when you have these individuals that's coming here and they trying to change things and to make the America their country, and literally with everything, not only when it comes to food, clothing, how they act in public, what they do. Because I'm gonna show y'all a few things what I'm talking about. You have them constantly when it comes down to violence. You got them as having and swearing them in with different jobs as police officers, as teachers, as doctors, and I'm not trying to be that person because people would definitely call me like the way that I'm speaking on this, but it's truly insane. Not only that, you're dealing with fraud. You're dealing with different gangs, as we're going to get into that too. You're dealing with a lot that we shouldn't be dealing with right now. You already have things going on with Americans in general that you're trying to get sorted out. You're trying to get together. But then you have to worry about these individuals that is just doing their own thing and especially taking money from the American people.
For us in 2024, ultimately, we all put our heads down, try to get to voters, have the conversations that are necessary, because we're not able to have any kind of the changes that we want until we win. And so everybody's trying to do the best that they can to try to get their message out and campaign with whoever that they think can help them do that. Sometimes not everybody's going to agree the kind of messagery that you use, but it's ultimately the decisions that campaigns have to make.
So you truly have, Ilhan Omar that obviously doesn't care. You have Hassan Pike. You have this Il Sayed that doesn't care. Obviously you're having a lot of these individuals who truly doesn't care about the American people, who isn't for the American people, and trying to change a lot. You have President Trump here sounding alarm that jihadists are being elected nationwide, as I'm speaking on. Said he's right. People like Abdul El Sayed must lose, and it truly just goes to show y'all. It truly, truly, truly goes to show y'all that people aren't paying attention at all, and it frustrates me so much. Trust it truly frustrates me. Check it out.
They're putting toward making life easier for.
Well, the one thing is we have jihadists being elected all over the place. We have this, whether it's communism, jihadism. It's a friend of mine called up. He said, really, you should use the word jihadist because that's what's happening. And I'm not sure that anybody, if you take a look at what happens in other countries, I think that's not going to be necessarily the way we want to live. But when you look at the radicalism and the craziness of the candidates and the stupidity of what they're suggesting, let's get rid of the Supreme Court, let's get rid of the presidency, let's get rid of the Senate. They want to get, sometimes I'd like to get rid of the Senate too, but I don't say it, and I wouldn't do it. But, they want to get rid of the Senate, they want to get rid of, ideally, the House, but they're thinking about maybe keeping the House, Isn't that nice? These are people that have been not successful. They're people that have been, in many cases, failures. Mm-hmm. They come from other failed countries, and they come here and they tell us how to run our country. They come from places like...
Imagine that. Imagine you having a place like America. Obviously, amazing place, seeing how a lot of these individuals are trying to come here or getting here, being here. And then you're having them tell us how things should be ran. Like, think about that. Deeply think about that. Don't look at the simple fact. Don't bring race into it. Don't look at none of that. Look at the simple fact. I want y'all to just pay attention. Hear me out. Y'all got people from failed countries. People from failed countries. Things that ain't going right, ain't looking right, this, that, and the other. Coming to somewhere that they think is amazing. A place they think is amazing, and then come here and trying to tell individuals what to do, how to do it. Not only that, but taking your money. People got to make it make sense. They obviously not.
Come from places like, I won't mention because I don't want to get myself into a controversy, but they come from countries that are not great. They come from, let's say, as an example, Somalia. They come in and then they tell us how our Constitution, how our Declaration of Independence, how it works. It doesn't work that way, and they're not smart. They have no aptitude. They have nothing going, and they're telling us how to run our country.
Exactly.
And I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that they start off, now I may be wrong, but, they start off with a big disadvantage. People don't want to have
I'm telling y'all, people don't want it. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. People definitely don't want it. You have it right here. It says Ilhan Omar is openly telling Somalis to ignore Trump's orders and stay in America, even if it means breaking the law. A sitting member of Congress encouraged the ethnic, and this shit. I don't know how many times I have to explain this to people. I don't know how many times I gotta explain this to people. But if I'm telling y'all this and letting y'all know that this is truly something, that and it's problem after problem. It's not that I'm making up excuses. It's not that I'm making up. It's problem after problem. You gotta deal with gangs. They're bringing them, telling you what to do, them taking your money. Then you have them, and all of it can definitely be canceled out when it comes to getting a lot of these individuals deported. Not only that, but getting these top officials handled like they need to be. And this is not me talking crazy, YouTube. It's handled when it comes to deportations, when it comes to arrests made. I'm telling y'all, truly does. The Feeding Our Future scandal and the Minnesota welfare fraud case already showed what happened when accountability is treated as optional. It says laws either apply to everyone or they apply to no one. And people are asking for Ilhan Omar to be arrested, and I do not blame them. You have it right here, and this is in Minnesota, by the way. This is in Minnesota, what they're talking about. 2 Somali gangs are preparing for a violent rival shootout at the upcoming 2026 Minnesota State Fair. This is on the news. This should tell everybody everything. From my understanding, and y'all can look this up if y'all look up Minnesota State Fair. I'm pretty sure on X or anything, any platform. Y'all would see that this is not something that's new in 2026 of them, being violent or whatever. This is something that happened over the years, people say. I know that because I've seen videos posted last year, before that year, and I think the year before. So I want to say back in 2025. 24 and 23 that I've seen videos of them doing things. Now it has right here 24 to 25, but I'm pretty sure it was in 23 too. But says there were prior fights, shootings, and other violence linked to the groups and near the fair during 2024 and 2025, and inside the fair from the video that I saw. Plus incidents at graduations and elsewhere, as I've seen in the malls and everywhere. I'm telling y'all, check it out.
We are just 20 days away from the Great Minnesota Get-Together, and prosecutors, they're working to prevent a potential gang fight.
Stop this before it happens.
This new lawsuit is asking a judge to prohibit 2 known gang members, the Ville and Muddy, from gathering at the state fair. Prosecutors say the 2 groups have been connected to gang-related incidents involving shootings as far back as 2024. The proposed injunction would stop members of the 2 known gangs from associating with one another, which basically means they can come to the state fair, but they cannot stand, sit, gather with known gang members.
And if you do, you'll be violating the injunction, and that will bring consequences.
But my thing is, you got Keith Ellison, you got all these individuals speaking on this. But my thing is, when President Trump is literally letting y'all know, and in the Trump administration, this is not the move. People shouldn't, we gotta hand out these deportations. We gotta get rid of these things that's going on, these gangs with this fraud, with this, that. They want to ignore it because this is money in their pockets. This is money in their pockets. They trying to regulate something. They want to go, and they don't need to. They don't need to go to the fair. They don't need to be here. They don't need to do this. They don't do. I'm telling y'all right now. Everything is literally in front of everybody's faces of what they doing, and that. They're the ones that's obviously controlling everything when it comes down to these Somalians.
Investigators say a social media post is hyping up.
I can't believe that this is where we are as a country, that the 2026 Minnesota State Fair literally has a threat from 2 rival Somali gangs that are planning violence and a shootout. It's so serious that prosecutors, including the Minnesota Attorney General, had to file injunctions against the 2 street gangs, saying that there needed to be a proposed safety zone, saying that they could not go in the area of the state fair. Multiple reports all confirm that these are both Somali gangs. They are not some American or black gangs. They are Somali, And these gangs are very violent. There are a lot of Somali gangs. They've already done over 100 gang-related shootings, at least 14 murders just in the last couple of years. And when these Somali gangs are threatening violence, you should believe them, because on the 4th of July, what did they do? They committed murders. Somali gangs in Minnesota committed murder and shootings on the 4th of July. 12 different Somali gangs have been identified as committing violence all over Minnesota. The majority of it is gun violence. And then what do we have again at the Minnesota State Fair? We have the threat of a shootout and more gun violence. Why are we letting foreigners run our country?
Exactly. That's the big question that people need to lock in and realize, because this is something that's definitely unnecessary, something that's sickening, and something that we shouldn't put up with. And I'm just being completely honest with y'all. You have it right here. President Trump says no more Somalians in the U.S. and that he's completely done. Check it out.
Which is barely a country. You know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes. But this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look into that, Scott, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars.
Per year.
And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%.
Because they don't care.
Contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point.
And I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's definitely something that's true. It's definitely something that, you know, we should, you know, support. People should look at. You know, I know everybody isn't going to be on the same page with everything, but I'll tell y'all one thing for sure, is that this is something that people should very much so take seriously when it comes down to what's going on. I don't see how so many, you know, people are supporting this and want this. You know, you have so many people saying that, you know, this is America. You know, we are supposed to, you know, do this. Let me tell y'all something. One thing about it is that I'm not a horrible, I guess you could say, mean, disrespectful type guy. You know, I love giving people that love, you know, that respect. But when you do something and you're given a chance to have a better life and to do, you know, you biting the hand that's feeding you. Biting the hand that's feeding you, then that's when it becomes a problem. And that's what people don't understand. You have it right here. Says, should Congresswoman Ilhan Omar be deported? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments down below. Stay tuned for the next video drop for the night. Catch y'all next one.